next one, Essential.
Florida.
Let's go into a fan question that might have a little bit to do with this. It's at Drop. What is the future of media outlets for musicians? So if you think about gang culture, and not even just that, but all different types of music and how culture affects it all, do you think that changes how outlets will adapt to the artists depending on what they're into? So if you talk about, Ron, the good gang culture and bad gang culture, if you're a label, if you're a media outlet, what are you going to pick up? A lot of times people go for negative things because it's just going to catch all the views. It's going to hit all the clicks, right? And the positives don't really necessarily do that quite as much. I'm just saying. How do you think media outlets are going to take everything? How do you think media outlets are going to accept different artists and what they're about?
It's a good question. I feel like eventually there's just going to be so many media outlets, and I'm hoping that there's good competition within it all, that you get to see a little bit of everything without really having to fully commit to one side. So it's going to be more of maybe this month this media outlet's popping, the next month this media outlet's popping, and so on and so on. And of course, I guess, depending on the people's taste, what are we going to listen to is, what's going to have on that media outlet. It just depends on your taste.
Well, let's just hope the competition gets healthy. That's all I can say. We see too much good artists as Juice WRLD, R.I.P., Nipsey, Mac Miller, just too many good artists that want to bring in that positivity, that want to bring in the music that will unite, and just it comes down to the issues with the music industry, how Lil Peep, for example, was getting fed just unnecessary
drugs,
amounts of it, and Juice WRLD in his situation where he thought the only choice was to do something that ridiculous and wind up having to cost him his life. It's just, it's just what it comes down to. The industry's got to let it be known that that's unnecessary. At the end of the day, you aren't the thing that has to lose yourself. You aren't the person that has to lose yourself and lose your life just to bring in that music that inspires you, that moves you and motivates you. You don't have that's unnecessary.
Yeah, but on another note, another outlet that I see popping up would probably be VR, virtual reality concerts, virtual reality meetups, virtual reality listening parties, virtual reality. I mean, it'll connect so many people. Like, you thought an audience of 100,000 was going to be the only thing a concert could drag in, but 100,000 plus everybody who has that technology outside in the world, millions of people are going to be able to witness musical talents perform.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that will shift the way genres will evolve also.
Like the NBA.
Yeah.
Yeah, like if you get rid of time and space being a factor, you can sell more, like the internet.
Pretty much.
That's true. I mean, like the NBA was already looking at something like that,
Yeah.
right? Where you can be courtside with your VR, but of course you have to pay, like, maybe not courtside seats, but
you get a good,
But do you also feel like
Floor seats.
That's what we want.
pass me the rock.
that's how you do it? You're also under like the net. You're just watching the ball drop. You're like, I'm here. I can throw my.
You getting it from the mascot's perspective.
Oh my god.
All you see is flips.
I'd throw up after that. But do you also feel like there's a negative to that? Maybe like a disconnect? Like
In a sense, yes.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it could be not limited, but I think it could be the way they would do it would have to be a little bit more natural, in the sense that, okay, maybe we're not going to, promote that to the people right around the block that can, be at the concert. But for people who are across the world that their dreams were to be witness musical performance, like for people like that, I feel like it would really connect the bridge instead of, make it seem like this is a disconnection.
Yeah, and I think that would help a lot of artists, like what you're talking about with Juice WRLD and Peep and them passing, is just being able to reach people a lot easier and interact with them in an easier way. I mean, it already seems really easy with the internet, but then you think about VR, like what you're saying, when people are technically in front of you and can see almost like how your movements and actions and stuff like that are.
Or holograms. I mean, if we're not just talking about VR, holograms could be the next thing
That
too.
was getting big.
Well, I mean, like, but not for like already past artists, right? Like just current artists.
Current artists.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
or I know anybody,
Like not
but
to resurrect the
no,
dead, but
no.
yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Yeah, just for people who can't like experience their favorite artist and you know, maybe it'll make even watching the flesh, the actual person live even more of a memorable situation, because you're like, I'm so used to now watching him on VR or only holograms, that the day you do actually see him live,
like
it's like amazing.
It.
You know, it's an amazing experience. It just builds up the hype even more.
Yeah, because for me, like, when it came to that whole Tupac hologram, it was just so cringy.
Yeah.
I was saying to myself,
it's like a Ghostbuster movie.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, do I need to get the Ghost Blaster?
Get the trap.
Yeah, because it's the unfortunate fact that it's known that the man's passed. That the only thing we have is the music that he left for us to remember.
Keeps coming out somehow.
Yeah.
That
was every day.
You know, I don't even think a lot of young kids want to see Tupac in VR. Like they don't even know who this guy is.
They probably were like, who?
You know what I mean?
Like, he's so old.
Like, if you start putting super current rappers in VR, like you saw the Baby did a whole show on FaceTime.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You start putting current rappers
that's
in
pre-VR right there.
Kids will be excited.
That's pre-VR right there.
Like, he couldn't get to the show, so he was just like, fuck it, like, I'm gonna do it.
He did.
That man's about his bag, bro. He's not messing around. Like, there's a lot of
and it would triple the money.
Artists who are like, I'm about it, but then don't
but
pull up on the FaceTime.
Did he?
Come on.
Did he
man.
get paid though?
He probably got paid a bonus.
I mean, he reconciled it.
You know, the fact of the matter that he was,
him.
the fact of the matter he was already recognized.
The worth of saving the connection.
That's what was the thing that he was trying to preserve.
Yeah.
Mixed one, essential.